Good evening, good evening, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Donna Just Being Real. All right, we back at it again. So now we're going to be watching the interrogation with Madeline Soto's mother, Jen Soto. Let's hear what she had to say. Actually, I'm kind of watching with y'all because I didn't really get a chance to watch this. This is kind of old. I think it's about I guess about a year right now, whatever. So we're gonna watch this, and times I pause, share my thoughts and opinions. What you do is hit the like, share me out, and all that good stuff. All right. And the trial's coming up. That's why I'm like getting into these recaps. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get it. Oops. Also, I need to mention I'm going to have it on speed 1.25. So if it's too fast for you, what you can do, hit the settings, slow it down, speed up, or whatever you like. But we're going to have a 1.25 because this is going to be a two-part. I'm just going to be part one, part two, because this is a long interrogation. All right, let's get it.
With all kinds of people. So.
And I'm glad you're here too. If I can fast forward this part.
My work is easy because I use ClickUp. Here's
Sources out there obviously doing active. So
Oh, sorry, Lacey. I'm just gonna leave it like this. Let this play out. I can't, you know.
told you. My name's Kevin. Work for the Orange County Sheriff's Office. I lead met Detective Smallwood from Kissimmee. The goal, obviously, Kissimmee Police Department's doing most of this investigation. We're at the Orange County Sheriff's Office. Our people, we have resources out there, obviously doing active. So it's kind of a joint effort. So Detective Smallwood's kind of, we're going to read through the timeline of everything else. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we're going to go there. All right.
You want me to go through the whole timeline?
Yeah,
Is that what
we'll start with Sunday. Take you through Sunday.
Okay. Sunday. Can I have tissue?
Yes, ma'am. Actually, grab some. So actual tissues?
No.
I can give you this whole roll.
So Sunday, birthday party. She spent the whole day at my mom's house. We celebrated with the whole family. I was at work. I just started a new job last week or the week before.
Okay. Where's that at?
Walt Disney World at Coronado Springs, front desk concierge.
Okay.
I was finishing up my last day of, no, I wasn't even my last day of training. I was still in the middle of training. Sunday, in the middle of training, I couldn't miss to go to her birthday party, so I went to work. I was with my family all day. She had the best day. She was so happy when I got home and I saw her. At my house around 8:30 that night. I wasn't home. She got dropped off alone. About 10 to 15 minutes later, Stefan showed up
At your house in Kissimmee.
at my house in Kissimmee. He called me, or he texted me. I don't remember, but he let me know he was there and that she was getting ready for bed. She was doing her routine, so she took her nighttime meds and she got in the shower to get ready for bed.
What meds? What does she take?
She takes hydroxyzine.
Okay. What is it for?
It's for anxiety and for sleep.
Okay.
Now, could she take that by herself, or would he have given that to her?
I think she took it by herself. She got home and she had already taken it.
How do you know that?
That's what he told me.
That's what he told you. Okay.
He was there when you got home? You got home, they were already at the apartment? Okay.
I don't like her taking her meds without somebody visually watching her, because I don't want her to accidentally grab the wrong pill. She's comfortable enough to grab the pill, but I'm like, no, I need to watch you take them.
Has there ever been an issue with that in the past where she took too many or took the wrong thing? Or just like a thought in your mind?
No, just a thought of mine, just me being hypervigilant. I want to physically watch her take her meds and watch her grab two, take them. I don't ever want there to be an accident of she took too many or she took. My biggest fear is that she would take Adderall by accident, her daytime meds.
Got it.
I got home around 10:30. I started getting ready for bed myself. I started eating and taking my meds. I have to take meds. When I went to take my meds, I realized, oh my God, I forgot to take my Saturday night's meds, which is why I felt so weird and so abnormal and not myself Sunday while I was at work. Everyone at work noticed I was acting different and not being myself. Like I couldn't smile in front of the guests. I felt this wave of depression that I haven't felt in years. It was my bipolar symptoms coming up again, but I've been medicating myself for all this time. I realized I forgot to take my meds, and I said, you guys, I need a good night's sleep. I need to take my meds. I sent them to sleep upstairs in the guest bedroom so that I could get a good night's sleep. Suggested that we all sleep together in the same bed together, but not the easiest person to sleep with. She rolls around, she punches, she kicks. We have a king size bed, and she typically sleeps on one side, and she'll end up on my side when we wake up.
Okay.
So I asked her, I'm like, no, please, I need a good night's sleep. If you guys can go upstairs and let me sleep. I had asked Stefan to take her to school in the morning.
We'll go to Sunday. So Sunday you took your meds. What meds, if you don't mind me asking, what meds do you take? And like, how does it put you to sleep deep? Does it help you fall asleep, or does it help regulate you? What kind of happens when you take the meds?
So they do all of the above. They make me sleepy. They help me stay asleep, and they help me function. So I'm stable all day. They only work well if I've got a good night's sleep and if I've eaten with them the night before when I take them, or the night I take them. The medication is called Geodon. Generic brand is called Ziprazidone.
So let's say you have to read an incredibly long email from your boss that you have to finish before the big meeting.
I took my meds, and then I told them to start getting ready for bed, to start heading upstairs and get ready because it was already almost 11 o'clock. It's past her bedtime. She needs to go to sleep. So I sent them upstairs. I think he may have come down at one point to pee before bed, and then he went back upstairs. He uses my restroom because the roommates upstairs don't want to share a restroom with a male. Yeah, so he uses my restroom.
You're fine. Sunday night he came downstairs, maybe overnight to use the restroom.
Yeah, and then he went back upstairs and they went to sleep. Or right, I think they went to sleep.
Okay.
I went to sleep. I was woken up at some time. For the longest time, I've been saying he woke me up at 8 o'clock in the morning because I assumed he was taking her to school and getting ready for school. But in reality, I don't know what time he woke me up. The sun was out a little bit. It was still a little dark. And I was very sleepy when I got up. I was kind of drunk. But he came in to walk the dog, to put a leash on the dog and walk him.
Was the dog in the room with you?
Yes.
So did he wake you up on purpose, or was it just kind of like the causation of him opening the door and you realizing somebody was there?
Yeah, the causation of him putting the leash on the dog, because the way the dog reacted, he gets very nervous and will urinate if you put the leash on him too directly. You have to like be nice and talk to him. He's a very he's a nervous dog. Yeah. So I got up to try to help him, and he said, no, go back to sleep. I'm fine. I got this. And I said, are you sure? He said, yeah. So I laid back down and went to sleep. I heard noise in the kitchen, but I'm not sure who it could have been getting ready. But it could have been Stefan, it could have been any of my roommates. I fell asleep again, and I didn't wake up, I think, until 9 o'clock in the morning.
Did you ever leave the bedroom in that time frame?
No.
So he came in, you were kind of woken up, basically him interacting with the dog, but you stayed in bed, you didn't leave the bedroom. So if you woke up at like 9, so you never
That morning.
Monday morning.
No.
So the last time you would have been Sunday evening? Okay.
I'm sorry.
You're fine.
I want to see her.
Take a minute. Okay? While you take a minute, I was going to ask you earlier, has anybody reached out to you during the time that you've been investigating this? So don't have anything else? Negative, positive, neutral?
My best friends have all been in contact with me just to try to help me. There's like, setting up Facebook groups, flyers.
No negative interactions with the public or anything? Nobody's like reached out with tips or accusations or anything like that?
Not that I've seen. I've been avoiding social media because my family's telling me to not go on.
Would you be okay with our digital people looking at your phone to verify there's no stuff coming into socials, texts, things like that?
That's fine.
Do you have a phone?
Yeah.
What they'll do is they'll plug it in, they'll do a forensic download of it so they have the data. That way they can go through it and say, we did receive things, we didn't receive things, here's the communications in and out, things like that, so we can verify that for you.
That's fine.
What's your password at?
030288.
030288. Okay.
Is that a birthday?
My birthday.
It's your birthday?
Yeah.
My birthday's tomorrow.
Today's the first. The worst birthday ever.
I used to pay Midjourney monthly. Now I use this AI for a one-time cost.
That way they get back on, so you can get back to you before. Here, I'll keep it from you.
Okay.
So you said about 9 o'clock on Monday, you wake up.
I wake up. I have a doctor's appointment. I leave sometime between 9:30 and 9:45, and I head over there. It's blood work appointment. The appointment's for 10:15, but they take a while to see me.
Where was your appointment at?
LabCorp. And do you want me to tell you exactly which one?
Sure.
Oh wait, I have my phone.
When we get back, we'll go back to it.
It's, if you need to Google it, it's the LabCorp across the street from the Loop in Kissimmee.
Okay, got it.
Had my appointment. I finished there sometime between 11:15. Then I headed home. When I got home, Stefan was there. I had talked to him a little bit earlier while I was waiting for my blood work appointment, and he let me know, oh, I'm so sorry, I left my phone at home by accident. School, everything went great. She got up super early, got up really quick. She slept most of the way in the car. I asked her multiple times if she wanted McDonald's, and she said no. Because that was the plan, was that they were gonna stop at McDonald's that morning and go get breakfast.
Right.
And he said that he had gone to the bake shop and they were closed and they didn't open. So he waited there for a while and left, and then said he was gonna go back later. When I saw him at the house, everything was normal. We were chatting, we were talking. He was acting normal. He was sitting in my computer chair, just messing around on his phone. while we were hanging out, he mentioned something along the lines of, "Oh man, I've been avoiding this phone update for a really long time. I should probably update it now." And I said, "Do it. Don't avoid it. Just get it over with." And he updates his phone and then tells me, "Oh my God, I don't know what button I just pressed, but I just factory reset my entire phone." And I said, "How the hell does that happen? That gives you options now when you reset your phone?" He goes, "Yeah, apparently I wasn't paying attention and I just pressed the button and it happened." And I said, "Oh, that's unfortunate. That sucks." Later on, he tells me he's going to go back out, and I think this is around 12:30, 1 o'clock.
Still on Monday?
Yes, still Monday. 12:30 in the afternoon, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. He tells me he's going to go back out. He's going to stop at a few gaming shops, and then he'll meet me at the house at 2:30 so we can get together. He left. I hung out in the house for a while, waiting for 2:30 to roll around. 2:30 rolls around, and I'm already calling Stefan, and he's not picking up his phone. 2:30 comes, I leave. About 10 minutes later, I get a phone call from him going, "I just got back home. I left my phone home again. I'm so sorry. How long ago did you leave?" And I said, "About 10 minutes ago." He goes, "I'm so sorry. I missed it. I really wanted to go with you." And I was just like, "It's fine." I figured he wasn't going to make it because when I looked at the time when he left and said he was going to visit 3 shops, I didn't think he had enough time to visit them. He told me while he was gone that he got a flat tire somewhere on 182. The wheel just shredded and fell apart. So he was changing the tire, and it took him a really long time to do it. He said he hurt his thumb while changing the tire, like the frame or something slipped and something pinched his finger, and he ended up having to yank it out. And he said he hurt his finger.
I want to touch on something real quick. When you were calling him, he eventually told you that he left his phone there. Did you hear the phone at the house?
No. If it was anywhere, it would have been upstairs and I wouldn't have heard it. It would have been in the guest
Do
bedroom.
you typically go upstairs?
Who, me?
Yes.
Only from doing laundry.
I was just curious if you had heard the phone when you were trying to call him that day.
I didn't.
Rent a car from our newest fleet yet. Your real car never has to know.
So he tells me all that. I get off the phone with him. I'm waiting. I wait for about an hour and 10 minutes. 4:04, the bell rings, and I'm waiting. I'm the first in line. And she doesn't come out.
You were in your car?
I was in my car,
Anytime?
in the car line, yeah.
Okay.
At this point, it's been a few minutes. She should have been out by now because she's usually one of the first kids out. She knows I'm the front line. And I'm holding up the line behind me because there's kids getting in the cars behind and they're all waiting. They can't get around me, right? So I start calling her, forgetting that I have her phone on me. I had found her phone earlier that morning. She had left it at home. And I brought it with me because she does this often. She does leave her phone.
Where was the phone at the house?
It was on top of the dresser in her bedroom.
Downstairs? I never been in your house.
Downstairs.
Okay.
So, just so you know, I have a 4-bedroom townhouse.
Okay.
The living room has a partition in it, a fake wall kind of thing. That's got her bedroom in it. That's got a bed, a dresser, and a desk on it. Does she sleep there? No. She'll hang out there. She'll use her computer and hang out there. That's her hangout spot. But she primarily sleeps with me every night in my bed. That's because I know the roommates wake up super early in the morning. They're going to be in the kitchen. They're going to wake her up if she's sleeping out in the living room. So I don't.
So your bedroom downstairs, her makeshift bedroom downstairs, guest bedroom upstairs.
Yes.
Got it.
Her phone was on her dresser. When I found it, I was like, oh my God, she's on the phone. It's great. I brought it with me to the school because I was just going to yell at her and then just hand it to her so she could have something to do on our way home. 4:10 rolls around and she's still not out, or 4:09. And then at this point, I'm feeling the pressure from the cars behind me. I'm like, okay, they're all full. They're all waiting for me to leave and she's not here yet. So I take off and I'm thinking, maybe I missed her. Maybe I forgot to tell her I was picking her up from school today because I don't know if she knew that I wasn't working. I don't know if she knew if I was off. So I asked, I don't know if I told her that I was going to get her. So I left thinking maybe she walked. That's pretty close to school. If I can't pick her up at school, that's where I tell her. I drove the path she would have walked. I didn't see her. I got to the office. And she goes, no, it's a little too early. I said, okay. Let me go drive back down and wait along the path she would walk and just wait. And I parked and I waited. I waited. I'm not sure how long I waited. Maybe somewhere between 5 to 10 minutes. She still wasn't there, and I looked at the time and I'm like, okay, she should be back around my office by now. Maybe she took a different path and I didn't see. So I went, no, she's still not here. And I'm like, that's really strange. So I call. I don't know if I text her. I call. I think I text her and I asked, hey, or I called. No, I called her. I asked, and she said, no, she didn't make it to first or second period. And I said, what do you mean? She was dropped off close to the school. She should have been in school. She goes, no, she didn't make it to first or second period. I said, please check with the rest of your friends, see if she made it to any of her other periods. At some point in this, I emailed one of her teachers asking, actually emailed a few of her teachers, like 2 of them responded. One of them said, no, she did not make it to class, and I checked her attendance for the rest of the day. She wasn't in school at all. Like, he sent me a screenshot of like her attendance, and it said 0, 0, 0.
You still have that on phone?
Yes.
Okay.
If you need to know what app, I'll tell you what app. It's a special school app.
Got it.
He said she was missing all day. And at this point, I started to panic and freak out because that can't be the case. She was dropped off. I had to go check her attendance at school, but the office had closed already. The lights were off. I could see a student sitting in there in the darkness, but I couldn't see any of the administrators or anybody in the office. Lights were off, everything was closed. They wouldn't allow me in. I think at this point, the teacher had responded to me and told me she didn't make it to school at all. I start having like a freak out panic attack.
Are you still just you at this point? Is it you and Stefan?
It's me and my sister, and I want to say one of them is Catherine. I start panicking, and I think at this point I call Stefan and I tell him, hey, she didn't make it. She's absent today. There's no attendance of her at all today. I'm like, right now. And he said, okay, I'll be there. And he came to the office. And
welcome to Human Talk. My name is Emma. I am an artificial intelligence powered human.
there for like 3 hours, I think. Eventually I contact one of my friends whose husband works, or ex-husband works for OCP, or for you guys.
Or Sheriff's Office?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I messaged him and I talked to him and I asked him what I should be doing because you guys aren't responding quick enough.
Would you know his name? Where he works?
Yes. Nick Mann.
Okay.
Or Mihan.
Do you know what he does here?
I think he works for SWAT.
Okay.
Sure.
Figure it out.
Yeah.
He tell you to wait.
I can't remember anymore. I think he let us know that there were other kids missing in the area, which is why you guys weren't responding quick enough. I think an 8 and a 9-year-old had gone missing around the same time too. In a playground, they forgot to tell. They didn't tell their mom they were going to the playground or something like that. So all the cops were over there on that side of Hunter Street. My sister's boyfriend, ex-boyfriend, whatever he is, thought it would be a good idea to go to the park and talk to a cop there and see if he could bring a cop back, and that's what he did.
Okay.
And then at that point, that's when the cops started asking us questions, taking a report. Interviewing me, they interviewed Stefan. They asked Stefan to take them back to the location where he dropped them off, and he showed them wherever he dropped her off. They were looking for cameras along the path, and I don't think they found any cameras along the way to see if there's any video recordings. I think.
Did Stefan go with them in their patrol cars, or did he drive himself and they followed? How did that work?
I think he went with them in the patrol car. Then they came back, and then that's it. Everything was done. The cops were done. We were done.
What time? You remember what time that was on Monday?
It was after dark. It was like 8 o'clock.
What did you guys go do after that?
We were in separate cars, me and Stefan.
Okay.
I ugly cried on the way home. I shouldn't have been driving, but I ugly cried on the way home, and I went straight home. And then the first thing I did was call Fox 35 News to see if we can like air some missing children information out there.
You say ugly crying, just overly emotional tears, makeup running, or is there like what is your meaning of ugly crying?
Sobbing where I couldn't see the road, and I shouldn't have been driving, like I was swerving.
Makes sense. Fox 35 come out to your house, or what was their response?
They responded the following day. I think we did a Zoom video interview.
Did Stefan follow you home?
I don't know if he followed me, but he drove home, yeah.
I mean, was it within a reasonable time when you got there? Like,
Yes. Drove home. We waited there. We didn't know what to do. I stayed up late. I think I called Fox 35. I think I had to eventually eat and take my medication. He told me he was going to go out cruising that night to go look for her. And I said, I even questioned that. I asked him, are you sure it's a good idea? You should probably sit tight. Let's just wait to see if she comes home. And he said he was going to take a drive out. I had completely forgotten about him wanting to take the drive or that he actually did it. And it wasn't confirmed to me until the following day where agents came to the house and we sat in the car for a good amount of time. And I noticed the chair was adjusted. And I said, did you drive my car? And he said, yeah, remember I said I was going out last night? That's right, you did say that.
Can he tell you where you looked?
I think he said up and down 192. And I said, why there? And he's like, I don't know, I'm just looking. I was just trying to look anywhere. And I'm just like, okay.
Did you say if you found anything or talked to anybody, or just roamed?
Yeah, roamed.
When you felt when you were getting ready for bed, you were tired, emotional. Were you falling asleep when you left, or were you already asleep when you left?
I was already asleep when he left.
Okay. Did you sleep downstairs? In your bedroom? When you woke up, was he already awake, or was he still sleeping?
He was asleep in his bedroom upstairs.
The guest bedroom?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you take your medication that night?
I did.
What did you guys do Tuesday? Or just you guys, if you're not together, you're not together. What's the timeline on Tuesday?
Tuesday, he slept. I woke up early and started making phone calls to like the national hotline for missing and exploited children. I called the number that the sheriff's office had given me to see if they had any information, and they let me know that she was like the what did she say she was? I don't remember what she said her position was, but she had just gotten into the office and was just starting to work on it, so she didn't have anything new for me. Her name was Bonnie Mitchell. I remember that. She asked me to send her some photos. The National Exploited Children's Hotline place asked me for photos as well. I think at this point, I had asked my friends and family to start contacting news outlets to try to get as much attention on this as possible.
Imagine being able to build anything just by thinking about it.
I had a lot of phone calls coming in, and I was picking all of them up, hoping that any of them could help me. But it ended up being news reporters or people who had seen my phone on the my phone number on a flyer and was trying to give me suggestions. Somebody letting me know that they took flyers all the way to Orlando International Airport and posted them all over the place in case she was being trafficked. They suggested that I go to Amtrak and Greyhound. I had my sister making all these runs for me. I didn't leave the house to do any of this.
Stefan's still asleep?
Yeah. Eventually, reporters come to the house and do an interview. And at this point, Stefan was awake. I did an interview with them. And then Stefan was crying in the background. And I said, Stefan, do you want to do the interview? You can if you want. And he sat in front of the camera and did an interview where he cried.
Do you know which news outlet that was with? I know there's a video on Fox 35
with him sitting
to be on a webcam.
Yeah, that was Zoom. He was sitting in the background for me.
Okay.
I know
But you
that
had
one.
in-person interviews with reporters?
Yes.
You,
I want to say it was Channel 9.
okay.
Yeah, Channel 9.
And he spoke to them?
Yes.
Okay.
And he ugly cried in front of the camera too, so he was fucking fake sob crying.
So are you saying that now, or do you?
I'm saying that now. I didn't think that at the time. At the time, I thought he was truly heartbroken and now that he had done all this shit to her. Like, I look back at shit now, I'm just like, he was fucking lying. He was fucking faking. What else has he been lying to me about? I know he's like a master liar manipulator because he's done it to his parents, and he's told me and shown me the lies he's done to his parents. But I don't know why I never thought, not me.
The lies are about money, they're about where he's at, what he's doing. Was he
Yeah, all that.
to his parents?
Yeah, he's stolen money from his parents. They used to have a few $1,000s hidden in like a closet for emergency fund kind of thing. And during COVID, he sold, like, he wanted RC cars. See, if he wants something, he's gonna get it, no matter what. So he wanted RC vehicles, the remote control cars, fancy ones. They were a few $100s, and I'm poor. I know I can't afford it, and he's showing up at home with these things. And I asked him, "Where are you getting the money from? Because we don't have this money." He goes, "Oh, my dad." And I said, "Your dad gave you money?" He goes, "No, I took some from his closet." And I was like, they have an emergency stash? And he's like, "Yeah." And I'm like, he's gonna notice money's missing. And he's like, "No, he won't. It's so much money in there, he won't notice it all." I've confirmed with Chris later on that he did notice money, but he never asked his son. But I let him know, yeah, he was robbing you and just buying himself toys. He's also lied. Most recently, he lied to his parents about where he would be. He told them he would be at his friend's house playing video or board games or something like that, but in reality, he came all the way to Kissimmee to hang out with us.
Okay. But you guys were together Wednesday? After all the interviews, did you stay Wednesday? Would you? I know
Yes.
we had some detectives go meet you guys Wednesday, I believe it was.
Yeah.
Were you guys in the house together till the detectives came?
Yes.
What kind of happened after the detectives came?
Do you feel like everything starts to get blurry?
Well, I get it. Trust me, we've been in this office for like 3 days straight.
Yeah, so I just don't remember what day I had conversation with you guys.
Tuesday night, Orange County detectives came out there because I ended up coming out Tuesday night.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember seeing me or not that night.
Okay.
That was the first night we were at the apartment into the nighttime.
Yeah, is that when you guys shut down the house for forensics?
Yes.
Okay,
Tell
so,
us about that.
okay. So earlier that day, I think Detective Hunt came, or somebody came, and asked Stefan for his cell phone. If he would willingly give it up so that they can look at it, or if they would need a warrant. And I remember him saying, "Should I have asked a warrant? Should I have?" And I'm like, "No, if you got nothing to hide, give him your fucking phone." And I think we hung out in the house for a little bit, and then when you guys came in the evening and you guys told us to wait outside and we waited in my car, he started getting very anxious and very panicky, going, "I want my phone back. I want my phone back." And I said, "Listen, at this point, it's their phone. It's theirs for fucking ever. I don't give a shit. We will buy you a new phone. It doesn't matter anymore. Whatever they need, they need. Like, let them look at it." And he's like, "I just want my phone back." And I'm just like, are you trying to make yourself more suspicious? Because, like, if you were to go demand your phone back right now, that would look suspicious as fuck. Like, what are you doing? I'm thinking he's just getting impatient because he's bored and wants to play on his phone. And at one point, he takes my phone to start playing with it. I give it up, and I said, "Here, play on my phone. Have fun." Because I think from my phone, he was trying to log into his emails, but he couldn't because you need like 2-factor authentication from your own phone. And I'm just like, "What are you trying to look at?" And he's like, "Oh, my shipments, my packages." He's addicted to buying shit. That's another thing. Me and his dad couldn't figure out where Stefan was getting money from to buy stuff since he's been unemployed the last 2 months, but he's constantly buying himself packages, buying himself things off Amazon, buying himself things off the line.
Is this stuff you can confirm, or you think he's doing this?
What?
Buying packages.
I can confirm because I am linked to his Amazon account, and his parents can confirm whatever UPS packages or whatever he's getting at home. But I'm linked to his Amazon account. If you guys have my phone, you'll see whatever shipment. I think most recently I did like birthday party. If you see birthday party stuff, that was me. But everything else, him. He's constantly buying stuff and he doesn't have money. He keeps saying he's got money in his savings, but me and his dad call bullshit because he hasn't had, when he lived with us, he was struggling. His dad was helping him pay his bills, paying his rent, paying his gas, paying his insurance. Stefan was helping us, supporting us by buying food and all that stuff. But I don't know what he did.
So help me to understand, Jennifer Soto. I'm trying to grasp everything you're saying. And you had this type of person around your daughter? Very interesting. We gotta do better. We gotta do better. Are you kidding me? All right, resume. And thank you for everyone that's coming in here. Thank you for hitting the like and all that good stuff. Resume.
The rest of his money, and I don't know where he's getting money from now.
You were telling us that he was trying to log into
He's trying to log into his emails on his phone. And I said, two-factor authentication, you can't do anything. You're just gonna have to wait till you get your phone back. What else? We waited in the car. I think at this point, when I noticed that forensics was locking down the house and you guys said we couldn't come back, I told him to call his dad because I had a feeling y'all knew something and it was gonna come down on him. And I'm just like, they're focusing on the wrong person. They have the wrong person. In my head, I'm convinced you guys are that you had the wrong person. I wanted to think that he was good.
Before we get ahead of that, what is the conversation like between you two when you're in the car? Because y'all were in there for a good while we were trying to figure things out at your apartment or your condo. What's the conversation like inside that car?
I'm trying to think back to what exactly we were talking about. I remember late in the evening, like when you guys let us know we couldn't come back, and I called his dad, or we called his dad. I started saying to him, like, I think they're focusing in on you. Like, we need to call your dad, and I think we need to get you a lawyer. I feel like they're focusing on the wrong person. And he kept saying the same thing. He kept repeating what I was repeating. That they're focusing on the wrong person. They're wasting time there.
How do you feel when you said he needs a lawyer?
He didn't believe me. Like, when I told him, like, don't you see forensics is closing down the house? They fucking know something, or there's something, like, they know something. Something's happening. They wouldn't be locking down the house this way if they didn't have suspicions of something. But I wasn't thinking, I don't know why I wasn't thinking him. Like, I was just like, no, they've got the wrong guy. He just kept saying that they have the wrong guy, that they're focusing on the wrong person and that we're wasting time and we call his dad. We tell his dad to come down here, and his dad didn't come down here and met us at a hotel. That was another thing. I don't have that much money. I live off disability. I couldn't afford to put us up on a hotel. Like, when you guys said that we couldn't return, I was like, I don't know where to go. I was trying to think if any family member would have a spare room or anything like that, and not that could take the three of us. When I say three of us, I mean him and the dog. And I know at my mom's house, we would have been welcome. My mom does not like Stefan. She's never liked Stefan. So I knew that our only option was to go to a hotel, but I couldn't afford it. So we called Chris, and Chris met us at a hotel by Disney, off Western Way. And that's where we went. We got there pretty late. We checked in. I used the restroom, and I was getting ready for bed, or getting, like, laying down in bed probably around 3:30, 3:45 in the morning. And I fell asleep. Stefan was already asleep at this point.
Did you go straight to sleep when you got in, or just kind of drifted off as you were falling asleep? Then you went to the bathroom. Did you go straight to bed?
He was already in bed before I went to the bathroom. Okay. I was on my phone for a little bit. He was laying in bed snoozing. I went to use the restroom. I was in the restroom for quite a while because I had like a terrible self. When I came back out, he was asleep. At least I thought he was asleep. But
His dad stay with you guys?
not in the hotel room. He stayed in a different room on the same floor.
Okay.
The following morning, I wake up, I think around 9 o'clock in the morning, and Stefan's not there. And I remember thinking, he left again without his phone and didn't tell anyone where he was going. That's suspicious as fuck again. Why is he trying to?
Well, we took his phone, so he got a new phone.
He didn't get the new phone until later that day, where his dad woke up, came to our hotel room, and then handed him a phone.
Okay.
And said, "Here, have this phone in the meantime until you get your old phone back."
Oh, so you're just saying he's out and about with no phone?
Yeah, he's out and about with no phone, so there's no way for us to contact him. There's no way for us to. I didn't know if he even knew how to get back to the hotel because I drove that night. He's a little oblivious to when it comes to directions. So I was just like, he's gonna figure out how to get here. But he rolled in around 11:15. Rolled in with a cup of Wawa and said, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I was just driving around. I grabbed some Wawa on 182 and got lost. I didn't know how to get back to the hotel, but I'm here now." And I'm just like, detectives are about to show up. What the fuck would have happened if they showed up and you weren't here? Like, you would have been a fugitive. Like, what are you doing? And he was just apologetic about not telling anyone where he went.
But you know, I mean, he had a Wawa cup. He said he was up at 192.
Yeah, but in reality, I know that he truly took my car in the middle of the night to Northport, Florida, and was down there for an hour and came back. I didn't suspect that at all.
Okay.
I literally thought, I'm like, oh, this man, we were right next to like a Target. So I'm thinking, oh, he's probably like stress shopping, just looking at stuff. He likes to browse. It's like maybe he's in there somewhere. But I didn't have a car. I couldn't go out looking, right? And also detectives were coming, so I didn't want to leave. Detectives eventually show up. Actually, just we were in the hotel room for a while. He went back to sleep and slept. I took a little snooze for a little bit that morning, and then I got up, and then I went downstairs to the lobby, and I saw Chris. And Chris asked if I wanted some lunch, so we went to the hotel bar and ate some lunch. We brought up some lunch back for Stefan, told him to eat a little bit. When he woke up, he took like 2 bites. Then detectives showed up. We went downstairs. They let us know that there was a press conference happening, which we already had an idea was going to happen. And they told us they would give us a ride and escort us to the conference here. And then you guys would let us in the back way so that media wouldn't see us. But in reality, now I know that was just the interview guys with us. But yeah, then we showed up here and got separated. Haven't heard from him since. Haven't spoken to him since. Have no interest in speaking to him at all. Yeah, that was it. Then we got interviewed.
What have you done since? Like, where did you go back to the hotel? Do you stay somewhere else?
No. So after the interview and all that stuff, Chris took me to my sister's house. I've been at my sister's house ever since.
Okay.
Yesterday I went out for a little bit to go to Target to try to take my mind off of things. I went to Target to go get myself a toothbrush and deodorant, things that I didn't have because I left the house the last second. I also went to my ex-husband's wife's mom's house. It's complicated, but we're all friends.
So?
Yeah. They consoled me. They just kept me company. They made lunch. Then I went back to my sister's house, and I've just been pretty much there ever since. When I went to Target, I decided like, oh shit, I shouldn't be out in public. People could recognize me. It could either be good or bad, but people could tell me. I've already had people recognize me in my community, and dealing with people's heavy emotions and them coming to me and crying and telling me they're so sorry and how they feel is so heavy because like I just have to kind of stand there and take their emotions and like I don't know, it's so heavy. When I realized that these are the interactions I was having in public, I'm like, I need to stay home because I just can't. I can't carry anyone else's emotions right now. I have my own to deal with, like my own. I don't want my own mental health suffering right now, or for me to spiral and end up back being hospitalized.
So what did you need to do for Stefan?
I met Stefan in 2017. We both worked for Eco Homes, a real estate company. I did appointments, and he worked in the office doing like warranty work. We met as coworkers. We became really good friends. We were best friends for like a year, and then eventually I asked him if he wanted to hook up, and he said sure. And yeah.
You said 17, 18. Did you live in Orlando, Kissimmee? Where were you guys staying then?
Kissimmee.
And did you guys live together in 17?
He technically lived at his parents' house, but he was staying at my house all the time.
Okay. Same house you're in now or a different house?
Wait, I have to get back. In 2017, he wasn't staying over my house. It started in 2018 when we started hooking up, and he started sleeping over my house.
Okay.
And what were your next question?
Was that in the current
Yes.
house you live in now?
Yes.
Okay. How long lived in that house?
On and off, because at one point we moved close to where his parents live right now. They live in North Port Florida, Sarasota County. I lived in Port Charlotte, which is Charlotte County, the county right next door. We had an apartment there for like 6 to 8 months. We moved down there because, again, Stefan was promised a job and that fell through. So we supported ourselves in this tiny apartment for a little while until I ran out of funds.
Do you remember what year that was?
2020.
So when did you live in Port Charlotte in 2020?
I don't remember what month I moved in, but I remember moving out in November.
Oh, 2020.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was some. Like April, maybe.
That's fine. We can look up if we need to later. 17. In 2017. So 2018. Six.
I didn't press mute. I don't know why it's mute. It's mute on this end. Oh, I'm gonna let it play out and see what happens. Cause I don't want to fast forward and miss something. Maybe it's mute for a reason.
At the same time, no. But okay. I've had ex-husbands and ex-boyfriends live in that same house before.
Got it. You were to Port Charlotte sometime in 2020 for a few months.
Yeah.
And then you came back to the same house.
After Port Charlotte, I went back to my mom's house for a little while.
Where's that?
In Hunters Creek, Florida.
Got it.
Even before Port Charlotte, actually, the few months before I was in Port Charlotte, I was living at my mom's house.
With Stefan.
Around March 20th, I decided he wanted to renovate the house and possibly sell it. So he told us to get out. So March 2020, so around COVID time, like 2 weeks after COVID was announced, I moved in with my mom.
Okay.
And I lived with her for a little bit. And then the Port Charlotte apartment happened. Moved to Port Charlotte, were there for a few months, came back to live with my mom, was there for a few months, and then I decided to move back. That he was moving out and like getting an RV and like living the RV life. So he needed somebody to take care of the house for him. So I said, yeah, I would do it, of course. So I moved in. I moved into his bedroom, downstairs, the master bedroom. Eventually, Stefan did come. For a few years. It wasn't until like June of last year that I can go upstairs to the guest bedroom upstairs because I just
he's not a very clean guy. He's kind of a little hoarder and a collector. So just my house was always a mess and never the way that I wanted it to look. Or the clutter just gave me anxiety. So I asked him to move upstairs and he did. And he lived upstairs until until December of last year. And then he moved to Northport, Florida with his parents because they had promised him a job that fell through. So we were in the process of trying to get him to come back up here to get his job back at Disney and for him to move back into the house for a little bit. And I'm not sure long term. I know temporarily I was willing to accept him back.
Was that something out of convenience for him because you?
A little bit of both. We missed him. And I wanted to help him out, like make it easy, like give him a place, like a base to start at, and then for him to start looking for something else afterwards on his own. But yeah.
You obviously relationship. Talk a lot. Is she a secret teenager? What is like your kind of day to day with her?
I would have said a normal relationship. I asked, she would tell me. I didn't think she was hiding anything from me. I didn't think she was lying to me about anything, but obviously she had secrets.
I mean, the hindsight, all the stuff you found out over the past couple of days, we're like taking that out of the picture, your relationship with her.
Okay.
Like not looking back saying, okay, I was being lied to. Like up until you found out some things that you've been told, you guys had an open communication relationship. You talk about
everything.
Life.
Yeah. If anything, she was a little bit more open with Stefan because she told him about a boy she had a crush on.
Okay.
And that his name was, and she described him. And Stefan's like, "Are you aware that she has a crush on a boy?" I said, "No." He's like, "Yeah." She told me that he's tall and
You didn't think that was some sort of red flag? Why was she comfortable to talk to Stefan like that? And not you? This whole thing just. This poor girl. This poor girl. All right, resume. Just a little bit more, ladies and gentlemen, because like I said, it's going to be a two-part, because this is a long interview. So we're just going to watch half of it now, and then I'll show the other half. Resume.
that she likes his fluffy hair.
When was this? When this conversation happened?
Within the last week, sometime, but I'm not sure.
Okay.
Like so we saw. So within a week of that Sunday, I'm not sure if if she had told him via phone chat. It must have been via phone, like phone convert, like we don't FaceTime, we Google Meet.
The Android
version of FaceTime, yeah. So we would Google Meet often. Sometimes when we get home from school, just talk all day, or sometimes not even talk all day. We would just bullshit. I would be doing my own thing. We're just keeping each other company on the phone. And I think in one of those conversations, she told him that she had a crush on a boy. But I checked those text messages with that boy, and nothing seemed weird either.
How did he? It could be. She sees a guy at school. She thinks it's attractive. He shows her attention. She's young. How did he take it? Was he like? And I want you to think back before you know things you know now. Like, did he seem concerned about her? Did he seem excited for her? Like she's starting to be a kid, have crushes and everything else.
He seemed happy for her.
Okay.
He's like, "Yeah, did you hear this? This is super cute." And I was like, "Oh, I hadn't. She hadn't told me." And I wondered, I'm like, "Why didn't she tell me? Why'd she tell him and not me?" And like, I want to know who she had a crush on. But maybe it's because I told her she had a rule. She wasn't allowed to date for a few years. Okay. Until like, I think I had said 16 or something like that. But I didn't want her dating.
So then your relationship with her was open. Obviously, she's a child. She's not going to share everything.
Yeah.
With him, it seems like she has a very open relationship with him. They talk, they hang out.
When I'm young, I need help protecting my.
So it'd be okay with you if they went out and did things together outside if you were at work or something? So the living situation with them, I'll be honest, seems weird. It's weird to me. She's got a bedroom downstairs. What's kind of the mindset or the thought process, the communication you've had with Stefan about, you know, she's not going to sleep in her bed, but you guys are going to go sleep in the guest bedroom?
So originally the plan was that all three of us were going to sleep in my bed together.
And I'm not just saying Sunday, I mean like.
Oh, okay.
In the past, too.
So I had a rule. She wasn't allowed to sleep in his bedroom at all. Like, no sleepovers, no nothing. For a very long time. For years.
Since we're pausing,
Yeah.
what brought that on? Was that like a request of his, like, can we sleep in the same bed, request of hers, or you just saying?
And me being super paranoid, not to trust anyone. For the longest life, even though he treated her well, I still looked at him on, you know, like side eye, like making sure, like, is that normal? Is this okay? That looks normal. Okay. I wanted to make sure that nothing was happening and that I was missing something, but he never requested. I'm sorry. Repeat the question then.
So I guess what you said, like, you had a rule. Like, obviously we know now they've, you know, slept in the same bedroom together and everything else. I'm sure you're questioning a lot of things that, like, you haven't been told or that are going on. The thought process of them sleeping in the same bedroom caused you to say that you had a rule for the longest time where they couldn't.
Yeah.
I have a son. He's a lot younger than her. He's 4. But I guess if I was dating somebody or had somebody over, I would never establish, and this is just me, a rule. He can't sleep in the bed with her, or she's not going to be. It wouldn't even be a thought process for me. So that's why I asked, because I wouldn't think of it even as an option.
Yeah.
So when you say you had a rule, I guess I'm asking what prompted the rule.
Sleepovers before. Yeah. Like, you want to watch movies and eat snacks? Can we do that? I'm like, no. We can all watch movies down here together. We can all sleep down here together. Up until June, together all the time. So we were always. She would sleep in the middle. I would sleep on this side. He would sleep on the other side. It wasn't until June that he got his own bedroom and I sent him upstairs. That's where the requests for sleepover started.
Okay.
And I kept telling her no. I'm not comfortable with that. But eventually at some point, like, we really want to watch, I forgot what movie it was. They really wanted to watch something and I was really tired. And I said, okay, fine. Go ahead, but this can't happen often. And yeah, I allowed her to go upstairs and sleep with him. But honestly, I think I can count on one hand how many times that's happened, and it hasn't been many times that I've allowed her to have a supper party with him, to be alone in a bed with him. I'm usually around all the time. Up until 2 weeks ago, you know, I was pretty much at home all the time living on disability. If I wasn't at home, just, you know, I was substitute teaching, but I was substitute teaching primarily at her school or at the school close by, but I made sure I get out around the same time and I get out in time to pick her up and take her. So she was with me pretty much all the time. She wasn't in school. So yeah, after.
When he's not there, where does she sleep?
With me.
She never sleeps in her room?
No, always with me.
Quickly, do you know, and you may hate the question, do you have any idea? We currently have upwards, probably 200 people working on fire. Right, the Orange County Sheriff's Office is involved, the Kissimmee Police Department's involved, St. Cloud Police Department, Osceola County Sheriff's Office, Florida Department of Law Enforcement, FBI. Yes, under suspicious circumstances. So anybody who is somebody is involved.
Yeah.
So regardless of the circumstances, those people don't get to go home. Those people don't get to go back to their families. Those people don't get to live their lives and go back to their primary jobs. I know the sheriff has probably expressed to you that's his number one priority. I'm sure the Kissimmee Police Department's expressed that to you, our detectives. This isn't something that's going to stop or go away.
Yeah.
Right? Anybody who knows something, anybody who may know something, they're brought into a room, they'll be talked to, whether they're guilty, whether they're innocent. Because our number one priority, our jobs have kind of stopped on the other things we have going on until that's fine, because that's the most important thing anybody has going on right now. But with that, a lot of people are going to feel that whatever happened. I can tell you, and I know detectives have expressed to you that the thought process at this point is this is a homicide investigation.
Yeah.
Based on the evidence I've seen, based on the videos I've seen, I do believe. With that being said, and the reason I tell you that, not to be an asshole, is because the thought process with us, leads it in a different investigation, a different way. Meaning, whatever has already happened, right? We cannot change what happened most likely on Monday. We cannot change the fact that I believe Stephanie killed her, right? All we can do now is find her as quickly as possible. On the 2% chance we're wrong and that she is alive, that's phenomenal, right? That's the best thing that can happen. On the chance that we are 100% correct and she has passed away, finding her now versus later will bring closure to your family, will bring closer to everybody, regardless of how it happened or why it happened. Meaning, if you have an inclination, if you know where she's at, if his father knows, that doesn't mean those people get held accountable for what he did. It doesn't mean those people get held accountable for knowing what he did. It means we close out the investigation. You know what I mean? So a lot of times we go into rooms like this and we ask people questions. We say, hey, do you know what happened? Do you know what happened? And there's this fear of what happened already happened. I can't change that. So I'm not going to insert myself with knowledge because it's going to make me look bad. Regardless, at this point, I murdered her, right? He victimized her. He ruined her entire life from childhood until now. I think that there's probably some sense of guilt. And my fear is that sense of guilt is causing you to not want to assist in the location of her, not because you're a bad person, but because there's that sense of guilt that what was happening under your roof. And now, by her being found, brings that all to your plate, and it doesn't.
Oh no. If I knew anything, I would so tell you. I want to, even if she's dead, because you guys tell me your suspicions, but I'm not going to believe it until I have her body.
So there are things, and the reason I say these things, and again, I'm not trying to be an asshole, but the reason I say these things is there's been a lot of things you've said, and a lot of things I've kind of researched between.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to pause it here, and I'm going to continue from here to the end of it tomorrow, and we'll get into this one. I have so many questions about this. So many questions. So many. But I'll say one thing. Poor Madeline. Poor Madeline. Mm. Okay, everybody. Everybody had themselves a good night and a blessed one. And stay safe. Yeah, Kendall. Mm. So sad. This poor girl. All right. Everybody has a blessed night and a safe one. And stay tuned some more. Donna, just being real.